Sani Becirovic, hi, very welcome for a short SportyCo interview. Sani, you are one of the best Slovenian basketball players in the last couple of decades. You finished your career like 2 years ago.
2.5, 3 years ago.
You've changed many clubs in your career. You've seen a lot of professional basketball the last 20 years all around Europe, not only Europe. But can you tell me for beginning, did you have any contacts in these clubs with youngsters, with young players who are at the beginning of their careers, and how can you say, did you find any let's say issues, any problems regarding the starting point of a professional basketball player in Europe in last years?
First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. To answer your question, basically in basketball environment or European basketball environment, there are good organizations, or let's say the scheme is the program is very good. So basically the players who are already in the club, they are sort of taken care of, you know. The thing that, let's say, parents or whoever is taking care of a kid needs to keep in mind is just a pair of shoes and something to practice in. So basically the expenses are not so high, and like I said before, all the kids are pretty much taken care of.
But although that basketball is, as you said, one of the cheapest sports to begin with, would it be helpful at the beginning of your career to get some money for your costs, or who was supporting you at the beginning? Was it the family or already the club?
No, basically it was the family. I mean, let's say the system used to be different, so basically there was no monthly payments like it is now, where the kids, have to pay some kind of monthly fee, just to practice. So basically I was lucky enough that my parents didn't have to take care of that or think about that, and basically, yeah, my family took care of everything, all my trips, my camps, my whatever was needed. But like you said before, you know, basketball is pretty cheap sport, so you don't need a lot of stuff unless you want to go travel to really all the best camps in Europe or even across sea. This is then where the costs get higher.
Do you remember your first earnings, your first salary?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Maybe how much was it then?
No, it was, yeah. I was 15 years old, and I just got my, it's not a payment, it was stipendium, you know how to say, I don't know. So basically it was 100 Deutsche Marks, which was quite a lot at the time, and it was basically like award for getting into the cadet national team, something like this. So the club awarded all the guys with this payment, let's say, exactly for the costs of new pair of shoes or let's say bus ticket, because I was driving from Slovenska Bistrica to Maribor, and I felt like, you know, I just won $1 million, because it was a good sensation.
Many talented young athletes cannot afford actually trainings and regular playing because of lack of money. Maybe not so much in Slovenia, but also did you meet that kind of colleagues? I mean, basketball players during your career that you remember some colleagues that they cannot afford playing, or?
Basically not. I mean, like I said before, I think this is more the case in the individual sports, because really once you are, let's say, good in what you do, even at the age of 12, somebody will take care of you, either the club, either agent that you know, wants to represent you, or somebody. So basically, from my experience, I don't know anybody in my sport that needed this kind of financial help, you know, because like I said, the club is the one that takes care of his talents.
But you have really changed many clubs during your career. These clubs were probably also very different from a professional point of view, or did you have, let's say, very similar experiences?
No, basically, I mean, it depends. I unfortunately, I had to change a lot of clubs, but the thing is that the higher you go, the higher the level is, the less they care about the youngsters, because all that the clubs are interested in is results. So being a European champion, or I don't know, Italian, Greek, Russian champion, and basically all the big clubs in the past, they didn't think about the youth so much because they had money, there was no crisis, and they can easily afford the best players once they are already developed. Now the situation even in Europe changed a lot, so even the big clubs, they focus a lot on developing the young players and invest quite a lot of money in the youth programs. For example, Real Madrid is one of the let's say new programs or modern era where they really select all the best young guys from all over the world, bring them to their academy, and then develop them into a player that then can help for the first team.
Like Luka Doncic?
Like Luka Doncic, yeah, but let's say Real is not the only one. Even Panathinaikos, for example, where I used to play, and the coach afterwards, when I played there, their young program was non-existing, basically. But now, in the last 3 or 4 years, they put up a really nice and big academy, which is doing great, and hopefully we will see some kids out of their academy playing for the first team.
But you have also, on the other side, you have also the contact with young Slovenian kids. You have your own basketball academy for a couple of years now. How is your experience now during this training camps or school program?
Yeah, I have my own academy, which is based in Maribor, Slovenska Bistrica, and around in that area. Basically, what we are trying to do is exactly this: select the talent, put them in a good environment where everything, or more or less everything, is taken care of. So basically, they only need to focus on practicing and playing basketball as hard as they can. It's tough, like I said before, lack of money, or in this difficult period, it's really hard to get the sponsorship together for the academy to go on, but we are trying, we are fighting, and I can proudly say that in last 2-3 years we really improved a lot, and hopefully, like I said before, for Real Madrid or Panathinaikos, in a couple of years also we will have a national team player or somebody that can say, okay, I came out from Sani Becirovic basketball school.
From basketball school of the European champion?
Yeah.
Was that the peak of your career?
Yeah, basically.
10 years ago?
Yeah, it was in 2007 with Panathinaikos, and most definitely, that was one of the most nicest moments in my career. Yeah.
So just for maybe the last question, your advice for young, talented basketball players here in Slovenia, you have met a lot of them, maybe more to like on their families, or are clubs prepared good enough for their development?
In Slovenia, I think that they are lucky because, like I said before, once you are in the system and you're talented, the system will take care of you. So basically the club will provide you all the necessary things you need. If the family cannot afford it, then, like I said, there's always a way that through the club or through the system that is already, somehow it's going to work out, The problem is to get to this level. Of course, the parents need to pay this monthly fee, like in any other sport or hobby that the kid might participate. But once again, my advice would just be, if the kid loves the sport, try to support him as much as you can. If that is financially not possible, then thank God today we have many solutions where either you or the system can help a kid like that.
Perfect. Great. Sani Becirovic, thank you very much for your time and for your interview.
Thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure once again.